Hey everyone, today we're going to talk about some cruise cabin booking mistakes that are going to cost you time, money, and maybe a little of your sanity. Let's go talk about it. Hey everyone, John here from Bite Size Cruises. Welcome back to the channel. Today we are talking all things cabin booking mistakes. If it's your first time at our channel, thanks so much for coming to check us out. If you like today's video or find it useful, please consider liking and subscribing to our channel. We're a small travel agency trying to give you the best information possible about cruising so that you can plan and go on an amazing cruise vacation. So let's get into these booking mistakes that I see tons of people make that probably cost you a ton of time, money, and probably a little bit of your sanity. Let's start off with some really easy ones first. The first one we're going to talk about is booking too late or too early. So here's what happens. Generally, too early is not the kind of issue here, but there are times when booking a cruise too early is silly. And by booking too early, I mean booking on an inaugural cruise or the first couple weeks or maybe even the first couple months of brand new ship launches. I know our gut reaction is to get on that brand new ship and book it and be one of the first people on it. And I love that. I love doing that as well. I think we all do because we're super passionate about cruising. But here's the thing, there are a lot of things that can go wrong. In the past maybe 5 or 6 cruise ship launches, we've seen lots of holdups. We saw Wonder of the Seas, a bunch of things weren't ready because of the pandemic and because of some delays with shipping things and all the kind of wild things that went on there. The Sun Princess, way late getting out, way late with some things. Some things still aren't 100%, and that ship's been out for a little while now, at least a month or so. We've saw with Icon a little bit, not too much, but some of the shows aren't ready yet. The Aqua Theater show, the Escape Room, Wizard of Oz was like a shortened version of it. So you're going to miss out on some really fun things. I was on Carnival Jubilee on, I think, the 4th sailing. Luckily, I didn't experience any of those delays, but it is possible, and it's something that will frustrate you, even though you're getting to be on the ship very early. Too late is definitely the bigger issue. I think there's a faction of people who think that there are some deals for last-minute cruising. Let me assure you, there are not. So booking too late or close to your cruise is definitely a mistake. I know there's an urge there to like wait and see if the prices are going to drop, wait and see if I hear all the time people say, well, the cruise ship, if they don't sell or they're going to run these great deals, if people cancel, they're not. People are going to get upgraded that have bid on upgrades, and the cruise ship and the cruise lines know how to fill these cruise ships. They have people on standby waiting, they have waiting lists. There's a whole bunch of things going on behind the scenes. There really are no last minute deals. Where you can get some last minute advantages are if you are working with a travel advisor or working with a big agency and they have group space that is on hold. That is generally right around final payment that they're kind of giving those great deals. That is not close to the cruise. So you're talking 3 or 4 months out, not 3 or 4 weeks out. And if you wait that long and then you don't get a good deal, then what are you going to do? Because now you're trying to book airfare and maybe you're just trying to drive to the port or whatever, but it's very difficult. So I don't recommend booking last minute. Next one is ignoring your cabin location. We've seen it too many times. Recently, people with guaranteed cabins get to the port and they don't have a cabin. That's very rare, I will say, but your location is very important. It's more important to some people than others. I generally don't care, and I mean that wholeheartedly. I book guaranteed cabins sometimes. I know that my location can be wonky. I could be below some dining room or below the nightclub or below the pool deck, and things might be a little noisy. I have a pretty good tolerance for that, and it doesn't really bother me. However, some people don't want to be in the front of the ship because of motion. Some people don't want to be in the back of the ship because of motion. Some people don't want to be near the nightclub or those different things, or near the kids club, or close to this or close to that. All things you should take into consideration when you're picking your cabin. It's another great reason to think about using a travel advisor. I'm not, pitching this for us. If you'd like to book a cruise with us, we would love that. But if you have your own travel agent, if you know a travel advisor, if you know somebody who books cruises, use a reputable cruise travel agent. They're going to help you with all those little things. They know where the good cabins are. They know if you want to be right next to the elevator, a little bit further away, or close to this location because it's really quiet, or if you have kids and you want to be closer to the kids club. All things taken into consideration. I know you can look on a map and see certain things, but using someone who knows and does this all the time really does help and will get you an advantage of where exactly your cabin is. Same thing with connecting cabins. You don't want to book sometimes a connecting cabin because it's a little noisier. You might have somebody banging on your door, those type of things. So not researching categories or cabin types is one for me. There are a lot of different categories. Some of them come with bonuses and perks. Some of them are advantageous or disadvantageous based on where you are on the ship. A lot of people just go in and book, I'm booking a balcony. And they think they're just going to get that perfect midship balcony, and they wind up all the way at the front of the ship or all the way in the back of the ship. Or they wind up missing out on a great maybe perk or upgrade like a bathtub if they have kids, or the ability to have a pull-out sofa, those type of things. So again, do your research, use a travel advisor, whatever works best for you. That's really going to go a long way. Next up is overlooking hidden costs. And when I talk about hidden costs, I'm talking about gratuities, things that you're going to have to purchase on board, excursions, those things. If you are new to cruising, or maybe you've been on a cruise a long time ago, maybe you don't know that there's mandatory gratuity now. They say it's not mandatory. It's kind of mandatory. If you don't tip, that's not appropriate either. So you have these daily service charges that are going to come out. You have port fees and taxes to keep in mind. It's not just the first price you see there when you pull up a booking. You're going to have excursions, maybe a drink package, maybe dining, maybe bingo, all of those things you want to look into so you could see your vacation as a whole and not just the cruise fare for what it is. A few more of them here. Ignoring cruise line policies is a big one for booking your cruise that I think people make in booking cruise that make mistakes and not realizing that you can or can't do something. Not really realizing that you can bring bottles of wine maybe, or bottles of soda. If you're on Royal Caribbean, you can bring a 12-pack of soda or iced tea or something that you enjoy. Or not knowing that you can't bring CBD products, right? You're not allowed to do that. You can't bring a drone. You can't bring different things, a knife, a gun, those crazy things, right? So not knowing the policies and procedures will get you caught up when you're doing your booking as well. So those are some things to think about. Another thing I think some people don't realize are that some cabins have amenities. Some cabins, if you're in a suite, it might come with the drink package. It might come with free internet or internet included in your cruise fare. God forbid, I don't want to say free. There might be an additional size to your cabin, like we talked about before. Maybe you're going to have the ability to have a pull-out or some additional beds, anything like that, a walk-in closet. So not knowing what those extra amenities might be, because maybe booking a suite instead of a balcony, even though it's going to be more money here, it might save you money because you're going to be buying those other things. And then really just a few more little ones here. One of my things, it's after booking, don't get sucked into the upgrade wars. So after you book your cruise, you're going to get an email from the cruise line. You're going to get 100 emails from the cruise line about their upgrade program. What I generally tell people on these upgrade programs, especially now, if you would have asked me in 2021 coming out of the pandemic, those upgrade programs were great. The ships were half full. If you bid something reasonable, you were going to get upgraded. Now you pretty much are not. Here's the caveat. If you're in an inside cabin and you bid to go to an ocean view, you might win that because ocean view is not really a cabin that a lot of people want or book. It's mostly inside or balcony. So you might get bounced to that. If you're in a balcony, the chances of you getting a suite, or if you're in a suite getting a bigger suite, are very, very rare. And what I find is that you're going to wind up bidding. If you bid, most of the time you're not going to bid enough and you're just not going to get it. You'll see people in all the Facebook groups saying, I got my upgrade, I got an upgrade to this. The other thing you have to look at is if you're in an inside cabin and you're bidding $1,000 to go to a balcony, was the balcony $1,000 more? And is it worth $1,000 to get into a balcony? Or you're going to wind up overbidding where you're going to bid $600. And remember, when you bid on those things, it's going to be per person. And even if you're in a room by yourself, you have to pay for 2 people's upgrade. So if you're going from inside to balcony and you bid $600, it's going to be $1,200. The other big thing about upgrading in the upgrade program is you have no control over where your cabin will be. So yes, you may get upgraded from an inside cabin to a balcony, and you might get an obstructed balcony, or you might be, like I said, in the front of the ship or the back of the ship. You might be right under the pool deck. You might get upgraded to a 1-bedroom aqua theater suite, and you might be super excited, and then you find out that the aqua suite doesn't really have it's got the tiniest little balcony, and you can't see the aqua theater because of construction that was done. And those are the cabins that are sometimes left over because nobody booked them. So sometimes if nobody books a cabin, there's a really compelling reason why. So you don't want to get stuck by bidding on an upgrade because they know they're going to get that money and they're going to put you in there because you spent $2,000 more to get that room, and then it wasn't worth it, and it's a terrible experience for you. My general advice is, if you would like to go in that higher cabin, buy that higher cabin. Call your travel advisor, call the cruise line, whoever you're booking with, and just book that higher cabin. It's a better experience. You're going to get to pick your room, and there's no waiting till the last minute. Yes, you can get on the cruise ship. You can ask them if there are upgrades. I see it all the time now. Most of the time when you get to guest services on the first day, there's a big sign that says there are no upgrades. So they know people are going to try to do that, and they pretty much stop that right now so that it's not going to happen. Those are just a few tips that I have for when you're booking your cruise. Again, I do think it's really worthwhile to book with a travel advisor. Not a pitch for us again, but any travel advisor that you find reputable or that specializes in cruises, they have a wealth of knowledge and information about each of the cruise ships, the cruise lines. There's a lot of intricacies. There's a lot of differences in all the different cabins, categories, all the different things that go on in the ship. So I highly recommend that. If you have any questions at all, please feel free to put them below. I'm happy to answer questions. And thank you so much for watching. We really appreciate it. Have a wonderful day and happy cruising. Bye.